What is good? What is good, my good YouTube people, man? We're back for another animated chapter of Chainsaw Man. And I have to say, this chapter is probably have one of the kookiest to wildest dialogue in the entire Chainsaw Man, I would say, universe. We've never really seen anything of this level of craziness. And as a Fire Punch reader, I'm not that out of line. It's not out of that pocket for Tatsuji to go this walls to the wall with his dialogue, but it is kind of interesting. But it all makes sense when you think about it rationally. Like, they're in a cult. Enough is said with that one statement because, like, they're in a cult. Everything comes together. Like, it makes sense of everything. Just like even the announcement of how the Church Chainsaw Man was created, it was absorbed from a former cult, which means it still has some cult-like tendencies inside the church. Even if you got rid of it fully, there's still an origin of a cult being around it, and there's still some cult like heritage inside the church. So bam, it's a cult. Like, even to everything to blaming America, find something easy for your problems. One enemy, an enemy that you could fight, and you're the good guy, and you guys have to fight continuously because you're upholding, you're defeating evil, you're giving people a purpose, a reason to keep going and going. It gives them the answer to all life's question. America did this because America's pure evil. We're we're the righteous Japan. We can overcome this if we work together. It all makes sense because it's a cult. Even the people that join the cult, they're very young, very impressionable, and they're easy to manipulate. You know why? Because it's a cult. Everything, once you realize it's a cult, all makes sense too. What they're doing, why they explain everything the way they are, even to the members they have. Once it all comes together because it's a cult. And everything just being weird is just like a cult-like tendencies. Cults are not normally society, unless you consider society the biggest cult. Then yeah, cults tend to be different among their own things, and they're very unique in a certain aspect of them. So them having marriages and having kids young can be rationalized because every single thing comes together because it's all a cult. That kind of takes care of all the, I would say, interesting dialogue. And also, side note, it is Kabane's brother. We got to confirm, but we kind of already knew that already. But this whole chapter, I would just like to talk about Barem, because Barem is actually very interesting. Because out of all the hybrids Tatsuji could have gave us, he gave us Barem. In my opinion, kind of the least interesting hybrid, but Barem is very interesting because Barem had the most interesting dialogue out of all the hybrids in the Control Devil arc. Because out of all of the hybrids, Barem was the only one that didn't seem to show his affection for Machina. He just simply acknowledged that everyone else had affection for Machina. And and even when in his hybrid state, every single hybrid has response, but Barem was the only one able to at least make sentences or made a reference like "burn for me, baby." While all the other hybrids are able to make noise like And once they did the rematch with Denji when he was significantly weaker, Barem was the only one to notice this. Well, at least he was the only one to state to notice, and actually seemed a little bit concerned, in which Machina had to reassure him that, hey, he's far weaker than before, no need to worry about. Which kind of gives me the impression that Barem himself might actually be at least a little bit more different from the other hybrid, leading me to believe that Barem and Machina might have actually been working together, and Barem was working under Machina under his own free will. And if my theory is true, this may lead to me getting a better understanding at least Barem's motivation. As in, Barem, just like Machina, is a Chainsaw Man fan. But the question is, what type of Chainsaw Man fan he is. Could he be a fan of the red Chainsaw Man or the black Chainsaw Man? If you ask me, it kind of leans both ways for me now. I can see both options being possible, because he could be like Machina and be like, the black Chainsaw Man is the true Chainsaw Man, the real Chainsaw Man, and he was great and all, and that's the Chainsaw Man he wants to bring back. That's why he's so impatient on trying to, like, that's why he doesn't worship Denji out full, even going so far as like prank him and stick his finger up his nose, because he doesn't really respect this level of Chainsaw Man. He kind of wants the black Chainsaw Man to come back. Man, once you go black, I guess you really can't come back. but 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 I can also see him being I can also see him liking the red Chainsaw Man too, being that Machina was able to fight the black Chainsaw Man and able to defeat black Chainsaw Man, and then red Chainsaw Man came back and was able to defeat Machina. So to a certain degree, he might have a level of admiration for the red Chainsaw Man and just want the red Chainsaw Man to come back. And it is somewhat telling that when Barem gave Denji his two options and asked him which one's heavier, such as family, friends, a peaceful everyday life, and petting dogs and cats. Like the fact that he knows petting dogs and cat means that he has at least an idea of what's Denji's life. And to understand that Denji likes the fame of it, it is interesting because like I feel like he has been stalking Denji. Gosh, Denji has so many stalkers at this point, to a point where he knows and understands Denji. And now this does bring into question, does the hybrids have their own ulterior motives, or is Barem working for his ulterior motives? Because this is a conflict of interest. Because Barem did threaten Asa's life, or at least kind of made it seem like he was willing to kill Asa just to get Chainsaw Man back. But Famine needs Asa and she wants to stop the Nostradamus prophecy. So we can't truly tell if this is Barem being his own individual or if he speaks for the will of the hybrids. And could this lead to possible infighting within the church? Because at the end of the day, the Church of Chainsaw Man is somewhat split, at least within the ranks. We've seen it before, of the Asa followers and the Chainsaw Man followers. It seems like in the headquarters, Chainsaw Man is king, but there's still people that believe Asa is the better choice. Only time will tell where we were going with this, but that's all I have to say for this video, man. What do you guys think? Do you guys have any theories? Like, share me, please leave in the comment section below, but please like, comment, subscribe. It's been B3 and stay animated.